All right, hi Ilona. I'll just gonna ask you the first question. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the legal practice of a firm which touches on climate change and clean energy?
Yeah. So my name's Ilona Miller, and I'm a partner at the Australian law firm Gilbert+Tobin. Gilbert+Tobin is a leading Australian corporate law firm that provides services across all areas of corporate law, banking and projects, real estate, finance, mergers and acquisitions, and so forth. My practice is specifically in respect of climate and sustainability, and I lead a team of lawyers who work across those issues in the firm. This includes advising on decarbonisation projects, both in industrial sectors and also in the context of the deployment of renewable energy and new energy technologies. We also do a lot of work advising companies on their approach to corporate reporting, and in particular new mandatory obligations with respect to climate-related financial disclosures. My practice also spans environmental markets, and I work with a number of companies, both investors and project developers, who are working to deliver abatement projects, including land sector and forest abatement projects, and also increasingly projects that demonstrate co-benefits and nature repair and outcomes for traditional owners and Indigenous communities. So it's a very varied practice that brings into play finance, corporate law, projects, and also more pure regulatory compliance in terms of compliance with our legal climate change and greenhouse and energy reporting legislation.
Awesome. Thank you, Ilona. The second question we have is, what do you think are the most important legal services you can offer?
Look, I think what is really important with climate conscious lawyering is being able to help your clients recognise where they may be facing climate risks or climate opportunities that they might not otherwise have seen in the scope of the work that they would ordinarily be doing. And so I think one of the most important aspects of practicing in this area is being fully aware of the science of climate change and the way in which both physical and transitional risks can manifest themselves in respect of the impacts on all aspects of legal practice. So that would be one thing. I think being up to date and aware of the international processes and how they can influence national and domestic implementation of climate action through our nationally determined contributions is another important aspect that, and being here at COP30, where those international laws are effectively made and where we're hearing from countries about how they're implementing their NDCs, it's important to stay abreast of these developments and look at how that international framing impacts action on the ground, both at a national and a local level. So they would be two immediate things that come to mind.
That's a brilliant answer. And the third question we had was, can you give us an example of a successful file or case where climate competent lawyering was provided?
Look, I think one of the things that I am working on at the moment, which I'm very, very proud to be involved in, is the legal establishment of a new fund for the Pacific Resilience Facility. And I have provided legal services to the 18 Pacific Island countries that make up the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat, as they have gone about developing an innovative new financing structure to deliver real and predictable finance to small island states in the Pacific to address disaster management, adaptation, resilience, and nature-based solutions. And so, I've been able to bring my knowledge of climate finance, of international law, of structuring international organisations, together with an understanding of the climate emergency that we're facing and the need to find innovative solutions to deliver climate finance for the most vulnerable. And so that piece of work has been 18 months so far and continuing, but it's something I'm very proud to have been involved in.
Lovely. Thanks so much again. And the last question we had is, do you have any advice for young lawyers seeking to develop their skills and knowledge on these issues?
Look, I think it's all about learning and really understanding, the climate science, the development of law and policy in this area, looking at the way in which climate litigation is being used as a tool to bring about, a focus on the need to implement the objectives of the Paris Agreement. I would be sort of saying to, young lawyers, read the opinions of the International Court of Justice, of the International Court of Human Rights, really understand what they're saying, because they give the most exceptional exposés of the, the framing of the legal problem, but also the very much the importance of that clear legal interpretation of states' responsibilities and what we need to collectively be doing to to address the climate crisis.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ilona. That should wrap every question I have, and I will stop recording now.